Ladies and gentlemen, the ongoing conflict in the Amhara region has plunged this part of Ethiopia into a state of turmoil and despair. Reports continue to emerge detailing the atrocities committed against Amhara civilians, and it is imperative that we delve deeper into these distressing incidents to fully comprehend the magnitude of the suffering that has befallen this region. In District 20, Hamas Gebiya, Azezo, and Hamas Gonda, the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF soldiers, who are ostensibly tasked with maintaining security and order, have been implicated in grievous acts that include the murder of several innocent Amhara civilians. This grim reality is compounded by the fact that these actions seem to be a desperate response to the ANDF's heavy losses in this contested area. The loss of life and the brazenness with which it is carried out are nothing short of horrifying, casting a long shadow over the prospect of peace in the region. As we shift our focus to the Awi region in Gojam, we encounter yet another deeply troubling scenario. Here, it is alleged that ENDF soldiers, purportedly acting under the command of the Awi Special Zone leader, have been involved in the brutal murder of 6 Amhara civilians. The fact that this violence appears to have been sanctioned or tolerated by a local authority figure underscores the severe challenges facing civilians in these areas and the urgent need for intervention to protect their basic rights and safety. Moving further into the heart of the conflict, we arrive at Mekan Selam, located in western Willow. Shockingly, reports suggest that ENDF soldiers have taken the lives of 7 Amhara civilians in a public setting. These incidents not only underscore the vulnerability of civilians caught in the crossfire, but also highlight the brazenness with which violence is being perpetrated, further deepening the sense of insecurity and fear among the local population. Gishan Mariam, a community situated in southern Willow, has also been scarred by this conflict. Here, ENDF soldiers are reported to have openly murdered 2 Amhara civilians on the streets. The public nature of these acts only intensifies the trauma experienced by the local population, as they are forced to witness the brutal loss of their fellow community members. Bilbila, near Lalibela, bears witness to one of the most distressing incidents in this litany of horrors. It is alleged that ENDF forces have indiscriminately shot at farmers, resulting in the tragic deaths of 7 Amhara civilians. The wanton and indiscriminate nature of this violence is not only a flagrant violation of international humanitarian law, but also a stark reminder of the disregard for human life that has become all too common in this conflict. Turning our attention to Azezo in Gonda, we are confronted with yet another heartbreaking report of an ENDF soldier allegedly taking the life of an Amhara civilian. The cumulative toll on civilian lives is staggering, and the impunity with which these acts are carried out raises serious questions about accountability and justice in the region. Lastly, in Woldia, situated in northern Willow, an ENDF soldier is reported to have murdered a utility security officer, accusing him of being a supporter of the Fano group. This incident highlights the perilous situation faced by individuals who are perceived as sympathetic to one side or the other in this complex and deeply divisive conflict. The situation in the Valega area of the Oromo regional state continues to be marked by tragic and disturbing events. In the latest attack reported by various sources, at least 20 ethnic Amhara civilians have reportedly lost their lives at the hands of ethnic Oromo radical groups. This appalling incident unfolded in the Horo-Guduru zone, specifically in the Abi-Dengu district. The lack of specific information about the demographic composition of the victims and whether their funerals have been conducted only adds to the uncertainty and anguish surrounding this tragedy. It is disheartening to note that once again, The Ethiopian government has chosen not to provide comprehensive information to the public regarding this incident, leaving many questions unanswered and exacerbating the sense of insecurity among affected communities. Over the past 5 years, the Valega area has borne witness to a series of massacres, with thousands of innocent ethnic Amhara civilians falling victim to these senseless acts of violence. The militant wing of the Oromo Liberation Front, which has rebranded itself as the Oromo Liberation Army, is believed to be responsible for these atrocities. The sustained nature of these attacks underscores the urgency of addressing the root causes of the conflict and implementing measures to protect vulnerable populations. In the midst of these distressing events, the Oromo Federalist Congress, one of the largest ethnic Oromo political parties, has put forth a new narrative regarding the ceaseless massacres of ethnic Amhara in the Valega area of the Oromia region. This narrative alleges that the government may be orchestrating these incidents to tarnish the image of the Oromo Liberation Army. Furthermore, it goes a step further, suggesting that volunteer groups affiliated with Fano, who have been involved in battles with government forces in the Amhara region, may also be behind the killings in Valega. The emergence of such narratives highlights the complexity of the situation and the importance of a thorough and impartial investigation to ascertain the true causes and perpetrators of these atrocities. The suffering of innocent civilians, regardless of their ethnic background, is a grave concern that demands immediate attention and concerted efforts to bring about peace and stability in the region. These reports paint a grim picture of the human rights violations and loss of innocent lives that continue to plague the Amhara region. The international community must respond urgently, taking decisive action to address this crisis and work towards a peaceful resolution that can bring an end to the suffering of the Amhara people and all those affected by this devastating conflict. Our hearts go out to the victims and their families during these trying times, and we must collectively demand justice and accountability for the egregious acts committed in the name of this conflict. Thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate your continued support as we delve into important topics and stories. Your engagement is crucial to our mission of delivering valuable content, and we encourage you to stay tuned for more thought-provoking discussions and informative updates. If you haven't already, we kindly invite you to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you not only stay connected with our latest content, but also become a part of our growing community. Subscribing ensures that you never miss out on the latest developments, insightful discussions, and educational insights that we bring to you.